All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to all. My name is Pete Jones. I'm the athletic director here at AMSA. I'm very thankful for your attendance tonight. It is greatly appreciated. We're set to, over the course of the next hour or so, honor and recognize the achievements of our awesome and outstanding student athletes. So again, thank you all for being here tonight. I do appreciate it during the busy holiday week, so thank you. Tonight's just a nice little exclamation point at the end of our fall season. In just a few days, we'll turn the page and it'll be our winter season. This is actually the first fall sports night we've done in a few years. We obviously lost a few years to COVID, so very good to be back in this room. I know it's a tight, awkward space, but it's good to be back in this room with our fall teams. Again, it's been a few years since we last did this with our fall varsity team, so good to be back. Again, I'll make mention of it one more time, the tight, awkward space. I know it's not the most ideal spot to do this. To be honest, we've probably outgrown this format. We've got a bigger group now than we used to, especially in the spring. We're like at capacity in the spring. So there's a couple different ways we can do this, I think, but talking to our student athletes, talking to our coaches, you know, you guys everyone in this room knows the uniqueness of AMSA. We're never together. Our athletic department is never together. You know, the co-ops like Hudson Dance, Assabet Field Hockey, Maynard Football, they go off campus. Cross country and golf go off campus. Soccer goes outside, volleyball goes inside. So, you know, I know it's not perfect in here, but it is it's the only time I can think of where our entire department is together. So I think it's a good way to do this. I think when I get the feedback from the kids and the coaches, they like to be here, be honored in front of their peers. So I think it's good. It's not the most comfortable, I know. I hope everybody can hear me. I think when the refrigerators go on back there at the bar, which is closed, by the way, it might get a little hard to hear, but thank you all for being here once again. The achievements this fall, as always, were plentiful. I'll of course leave that to the coaches to talk about. Better to hear it from them. But I can't help myself. Just a few quick highlights from me. Girls soccer, volleyball, and girls cross country all earned Colonial Athletic League championships. For girls soccer and girls cross country, it was the first time in our program history that we were Colonial Athletic League champion. So we've won league championships in girls soccer and girls cross country in our old league, 10 years ago, but since we've joined the Cal in the last 7 years, it was the first time those programs earned league championships. So congratulations again to them. Girls cross country actually made it all the way to the state championship. They competed this past Saturday up in Devens. Fine showing for them. But yeah, they were our furthest team to go. Our girls cross country team competed in the state championship this past Saturday, so congratulations again to our girls. We had 25 Colonial Athletic League All-Stars this year, spread out through the programs, a few Central Mass All-Stars as well, and actually 3 All-State selections. So again, many highlights to come, and I look forward to hearing the coaches talk about all that. Speaking of coaches, I do want to take a moment to thank all of our coaches. They've given up a lot of time over the last 3 months, going back to early to mid-August. They're very much a selfless group. They give a lot to our kids and our program, spend a lot of time away from their families and their professional lives. So how about a round of applause for our coaches. Thank you very much, guys. Really a tremendous group of professionals that I get to work with every day, so thank you, coaches. It's been a pleasure. Parents, we cannot do what we do without you. It's not easy being an AMSA sports parent for some of the reasons I just alluded to. You're driving all around creation, and to see the support that our teams get from their parents, it's pretty incredible, and the support that you give our coaches and myself. So I always like to do this. The kids will roll their eyes, but I do think it's important. I want our student athletes to please rise and give your parents the standing ovation that they so very much deserve. Thank you to our parents. Can't do it without our parents. Thank you very much. And last but not least, I certainly want to thank our student athletes. I'm proud to be your athletic director, and I'm thankful for the way that you comport yourselves when you're representing AMSA on the playing fields. For the most part, we're a pretty sportsman-like outfit, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So thank you to our student athletes for always representing AMSA, the athletic department, the school, and the greater school community. For the most part, you always have the right foot forward. So thank you to our student athletes for the way you represent us. Just a couple quick announcements before I pass it off to the coaches. I'm going to have volleyball go first. Many of the volleyball team members will probably sneak out. They have an all-state game to go to. One of our players is lucky enough to be playing in it, and Coach Ben Giovanni is involved in coaching it. So volleyball gets a pass. Some of them can sneak out after they get recognized, but I do ask that all in attendance please stay for the entire program. I do want to make sure that all of our student athletes are properly recognized and honored tonight. If you are being recognized tonight for the first time as a varsity athlete, please see me after the program. We do have varsity letters. If you've never received a varsity letter, if this is your first season on the varsity, please see me after the program so I can make sure you get a letter. Even if you've been on a varsity team in the past, but again, we haven't done some of these awards nights due to COVID, so if you've been on a varsity team in the past but have never received your letter, same goes for you. Please see me after the program and we'll make sure you get your varsity letter. And just the way we're going to do business tonight, Coach Vital set the standard a few years ago, and I think it works great. It saves on time. I'll call the coaches up to the podium, but all the athletes will come up at the same time and stand in front of the display here, okay? So when I call the coach, the whole program's going to come up, and the coaches will talk about our students while they're standing here. So that's it for me. Without further ado, I mentioned volleyball. A few of our volleyball players are going to have to get going, so I'll call to the podium Coach Joe Ben Giovanni and Coach Jeremy Morse. And players, please join us up here.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones has been extremely helpful to us. I'm pretty particular about the way I want things. So I come to him with all kinds of crazy stuff, want things just right, and he just does an amazing job of, playing to my craziness, and it really helps everything run so smoothly. So thank you, Mr. Jones, for all you do. So this season it's really good to be, back here and having kind of a normal season. Our seniors this year, it's been a while since they've had a normal season, and most of them didn't really get to play 2 years ago, their sophomore season. So, they've been through a lot. The COVID year, the loss of a dear friend and teammate. So really being able to compete this year at the level they did was really awesome to watch. A couple of challenges they faced in addition to that is maybe the last 2 seasons, the teams were really highly successful, almost making it to the state championship, and this group kind of had to find their own identity. They did a really good job all year long, kind of defining who they are. Talented, hardworking, compassionate group that they are, and I really enjoyed coaching them kind of all year long. Couple of good moments in the season. We had our tryouts at the beginning of the year, formed our team. Right off the gate, we had a big game against BVT, and that's always our biggest opponent. Pretty much every year, if we don't win the league championship, BVT wins the league championship. So having that game right away was really important for us to get going, and we were ready to go, and it was a tight back and forth match, and we won that game 3-2. We ended up losing to BVT in the other game, so we split with them. We went 9-1 in the league, so did BVT. But that was a good, really start of the year. Wins against some really good teams: North Middlesex, Millbury, and then Lowell Catholic in the tournament. Our Dig Pink night, where we reached our goal of raising over $1,000. We had pizza night. Pizza night was fun. I have a little pizza oven. The kids all came over and we cooked pizza outside and had a big old pizza party. That was fun. And then preparing for our game for Ipswich, we had some of the best practices of the year down the stretch. Even if I did mess up the scouting report. I scouted Ipswich, North Dakota on YouTube. We would have killed them, by the way. Okay. All right, let's get to some seniors. Okay, we have some all-stars here. In fact, all the seniors made the Colonial Athletic League all-star team. Congratulations. And Bella also made the Columbia Athletic Team. So we had 6 All-Stars on the team, which is a lot. So congratulations. All right, so let's talk about each senior. I have just a little cube with the roster and our scores and a couple other little things on it as a little gift to each senior. So first senior we'll call up is also an award winner. So we have 4 awards. And the first one was, what is the first one? You know where the awards are? The Unsung Hero was the first award.
Hey, Coach, can you speak up a little louder, please?
So the first award is the Unsung Hero. And this was voted on by the team. So this goes to, a player who is very consistent, contributes all the time, and doesn't always get the recognition, doesn't always have the name in the paper, but is really essential to the success of the team. So this goes to one of our seniors. She had 102 kills and 46 aces on the year, and was just one of our really strong, consistent players all the way around. So that goes to Emma. Our Most Improved Player award this year went to a player who didn't play more than a few minutes last year on varsity. She kind of got called up at the end of the year and then became a starter right out the gate this year, and just kept getting better and better and better, and really played her best volleyball in the last couple of weeks, and was one of our highest impact players in our match against Ipswich. So team voted that Jackie is the most improved player. That is Jackie. Okay. Then we have the Coaches Award, which they didn't vote. I get to pick. So the Coaches Award is, goes to, similar to the Unsung Hero, maybe somebody who doesn't necessarily get all the recognition, but somebody who is really essential to making the team run. All the behind the scenes stuff, pulling everybody together, keeping everybody on track during practice, during matches, and just kind of really being somebody that I can work really closely with. So that's gonna go to Maddie. Maddie was one of our captains this year. We're really going to miss the leadership that she brought to the whole team. We have some more all-star seniors. So we have our outside hitter that we affectionately named Grandma this year, Shay. Come on up. Oh wait, these are Oh, our setter, Devin, congratulations. And last but not least, we have the dominant force at the net, crowd favorite, Josie. And then should I just read off the rest of the names? Okay, we have Ellie, one of our setters. Gabby. Abby. Sadie. Emily's not here, right? Cassie. Jenna. And I don't know if these guys are here, but Austin and David were our managers this year, and they did a really good job keeping stats score. David showed up at many practices and helped, throw balls into the drills and run the drills, even jump in once in a while when we were short a person. So it's really helpful to have a couple of managers that were working really hard. And then our last award is our MVP. And our MVP is not here because, like Mr. Jones said, she's playing in the all-state match over at Westboro High right now. So that team was selected, 20 kids, combined Division 3, 4, and 5, statewide. So it's a large number of kids that play volleyball in Divisions 3, 4, and 5 in the state of Massachusetts. And she was selected by the Coaches Association to be one of the top 20 kids. And really, 2 liberos were selected. So at her position, she's one of the top 2 kids in the state in Division 3, 4, and 5. So she is our MVP. So congratulations to Bella. I want to thank Coach Morris, who has been at my side all year and really is invaluable help during the matches, during practices, setting up. He's just really become fully involved in this program and is a huge, huge piece now. Thank you, Coach Morris. I'm sure I'm forgetting things, but we're going to move on. We're going to watch Bella play one last time. So, thank you.
Is there a picture? What are we doing?
Thank you, Coach Ben Giovanni. Congratulations, girls, on another league championship. At this point in time, if there's any of our Assabet field hockey players, any of our Hudson dancers, please come on up. Assabet field hockey, Hudson dance, come on up. Hello, girls. Okay, so I'm going to stand in for Coach Caitlin Lucht, our Assabet AMSA field hockey coach. She's unfortunately home with the flu, so I wish her a speedy recovery. This is our 3rd season of the AMSA Assabet Field Hockey Co-op. We had 4 participants this year from AMSA, freshman Megan Goyette and Emma O'Malley. Sophomore Kiera Manning. And unable to be here tonight is junior Juliana Durant. The team finished 6-8-1 and unfortunately narrowly missed qualifying for the postseason. But I wanted to honor these young ladies, and I'm going to talk about our Hudson dancers a little bit as well in a second. But I think co-ops, and some of the football guys have just came in from practice as well. Co-ops often unheralded in our own community. They do, in fairness, they play for other schools. So I think sometimes they fly under the radar a little bit. They're not maybe necessarily talked about in the halls of AMSA as some of our in-house teams. But at the end of the day, they're still student athletes, balancing the academics of AMSA, competing in high school athletics, albeit for another school. But they go off campus each day. Sometimes these are even rival schools of ours, right? Like Maynard, Assabet, Marlboro. Our co-ops are often rivals of ours. So it's not an easy situation that you guys are in, but you guys roll with it. You guys have the opportunity to play field hockey. I know you appreciate it. But you might be a little unheralded, to say the least. But it's okay. We're going to honor you tonight. A quick quote from Coach Lucht. She wanted to thank you guys for an enjoyable and awesome season. It wasn't always easy, and it didn't go the way we wanted it to at the end, but you battled every day, and your fight and your grit never went unnoticed. And I thank you for showing up every day and competing for Assabet, for AMSA, and for your teammates and us coaches. So congratulations to our Assabet AMSA field hockey players. I'll call you guys up one more time. Emma O'Malley. Kira Manning. And last but not least, I'm going to announce her last, but it's freshman Megan Goyette, and she was a Colonial Athletic League All-Star. So I'll send the field hockey girls back, and I'm going to talk real briefly about the Hudson Dance Co-op. So the Hudson Dance Team, this was our first year in the co-op. The co-op was approved late in the summer. The team had already started practicing before we got official approval from the MIA. Again, very unheralded. The girls that are competing in dance at Hudson, it's probably not something that's being talked about a ton in the halls of AMSA, but I did want to honor them tonight. They are still in season. They'll be performing at halftime of the Marlboro-Hudson Thanksgiving Day football game. So I hope most of you in here are going to the Maynard-West Boylston game, but if some of you find yourselves at the Marlboro-Hudson game, please check out the dance team. The Hudson Dance Team will be performing at halftime, and there are 6 members of the AMSA community on that Hudson Dance Team. So I'll just name them quickly. Freshman Lydia Azar. Senior Isabella Bush. Junior Amelia Bush. Freshman Neva Bush. And 8th graders Carly Lowe and Honor Lucas. So I think we'll hear more about the dance team as we get the co-op more established going forward, but I did want to just honor them real quickly before we move on to the next section of our program. Coach Paliki, are you here? Coach Paliki's here, so we're going to call up our Maynard football coach, head coach Nick Paliki, and the Maynard AMSA football players. Come on up.
Good evening. I would like to start by congratulating all of you on successful seasons. My name is Nick Paliki. I am the head football coach of the Maynard AMSA Tigers. Thank you for allowing me to speak on behalf of our program tonight. I'd like to thank AMSA's administration for their continuous support, Athletic Director Pete Jones for his role in ensuring a seamless co-op between our 2 schools, the AMSA community, our terrific parents, and of course our players. Excuse me. The football team had another outstanding season, posting a record of 7-3 and qualifying for the Division 5 state playoffs as the number 3 seed. We will play our final game this season on Thanksgiving morning against the Division 7 state finalists, West Boylston Lions. As I reflect on the season, the word I believe that defined our season most was belief, and played a definitive role in our growth over the course of the year. As a team, we talked extensively about the word belief. Belief in oneself, belief in your teammates, belief in your coaches, and belief in the program as a whole. We opened our season on the road at Division II perennial powerhouse, Chelmsford. For weeks I was asked questions. Why are you playing Chelmsford? You cannot compete with them. Nobody gave us a chance. There were, however, 45 players and coaches in black and orange that believed. In one of the most exciting games I've ever had the privilege of coaching, we beat Chelmsford 20-17. While the victory was monumental to our program, the lesson we walked away with was far greater than any win or loss. Our team learned the value of belief and playing for one another. It was at that moment I knew I had a special group and we were destined for a great season. As the season progressed, we played terrific football. On offense, we were dynamic, defense relentless. Unfortunately, injuries began to pile up. Our team battled adversity all season long, never made excuses, and continued to find ways to win, earning the number 3 seed in the state playoffs. In the first round, we beat a tough Bishop Stang team. The following week in the quarterfinals, we fell to a very tough, well-coached Bishop Fenwick team. While the season did not end the way we had hoped, our program continued to grow. 2 schools came together as one, and our players develop tremendous qualities they will carry with them far beyond the football field. I would now like to recognize all of our AMSA players. Nico Andrews, Mateo Arellano, Brogan Arnold, Steven Schalar, Kyle Eagles, Aiden Frias, Tommy Jeninger, Tavin Hirsch, Connor Hume, Y. Kakish, Giannis Cambosos, Nick Langlois, Harry McCarthy, Nick Oliviera, Anthony Skillings, CJ Skronek, Braden Sullivan, Travis Webb. And lastly, our 6 seniors, Mateus Matos, Patrick Hoban, Christos Cambosos, Mike Zuo, Lucas Kale, and Pat Andrews. 4 years ago, when I took this job, you were our first freshman class. We have built this together. Your leadership, hard work, and commitment have left this program in a better place than when you got here. As the former Los Angeles Dodgers broadcaster, the great Vin Scully once said, "I've needed you far more than you needed me." So I thank you. Actually, I guess we will be doing awards for the team at the Maynard banquet after the season, December 10th, I believe. But I will recognize our league all-stars. Junior Mateo Arellano, wide receiver with 52 catches and 785 yards, I think, receiving. Wide receiver Tavin Hirsch, 26 catches, 650 yards receiving, 11 touchdowns. Linebacker Patrick Andrews. Pat was hurt later on in the season. I questioned whether or not he would be awarded a league all-star, and all the coaches thought I was crazy for not putting him up right away. It just shows you how much of a factor he is on the field when he's out there. So we're glad to have him back for Thanksgiving. He's cleared to play. And then our fourth, the defensive MVP of our league, Lucas Kale.
All right, next up, I'll welcome Coach Mark Vital of our cross-country program, and we'll start with the girls. Come on up, girls, cross-country.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It would be remiss to not mention again our athletic director, Pete Jones. Pete is not just a great at logistics or scheduling. He's even though I had him in class one year, he's still one of my mentors that I seek his guidance on many things. But one thing that he is that most athletic directors aren't is he cares about all programs, whether it's the football program or the cross-country program. And that was evident the last 2 meets that we had, where he was running around with his son, trying to get as many times along the course to cheer on our team as he could. And I want to thank you personally, Mr. Jones. I also, before I start mentioning the girls, I'd also like to mention our amazing parents. During the season, we had 8 different pasta dinners, and when you put a pasta dinner together for 40+ people, it's not the easiest thing in the world. Yet we had many parents who did that. Parents of track and cross country have to be very flexible, because not only do you have to deal with the craziness of Vital, but the schedules always go, pickup times are different and arrival times are different and all those things. So I want to thank the parents for all you do for our program. Now this program here, the girls program that I'm about to talk about, is almost beyond, if you're a coach, you like to have a great team. And if you're a very good coach, you like to have a great program. And if you're a blessed coach, you have a family. And that's what I'm about to talk to you about tonight, is a family of girls cross-country runners. These girls came together, very young team. We only have 4 seniors on the team. But most of our top runners were underclassmen. And I don't think they knew exactly what good they could actually be. Now it's tough when you're in the Colonial League, because every year you have to go up against Parker. And Parker boys and girls have never lost in league competition, ever, until this year. Big smile, big smile. The Parker kids are great kids. It's a well-coached team. Ben Benoit is one of my, last year he was coach of the year for the entire state. So it's a great, when you go up against them, you always know you're going to get their best race. This year it was nice to be on the winning side, to get the handshake from the winning side of that. Now the girls went, hold on, let me grab my notes here. 8-0, no losses this year. The first victory comes always early in the season when we go against Marlboro and Assabet. It's called the Galoni Cup. The girls have won the Galoni Cup, I believe, 5 straight years, and they won it in convincingly fashion. Convincingly? Is that a word? Convincingly? Convincing? God, where's an English teacher when you need him? But we won the Galoni Cup, and we won it very easily. Then we went off to the Twilight. Twilight race is kind of a fun meet. It's down at the Barnstable Fairgrounds, and it's actually under the lights. And the kids run the entire 1-mile loop 3 times. They have music's blaring, and we had our best as a team, best performance ever down at the Twilight Invitational. Then we went undefeated in the league, but in cross country you also have a league championships, and that's where all the teams run together. It happens to be at Galoni, which is always somewhat to our advantage, even though all the other teams know Galoni pretty well as too. And this was the first year that we had ever won, not only went undefeated in the league, but also won the league championship. So that was really a feather in our cap as well. Let's talk, I just can't say enough about these girls. As I said earlier, I was blessed to have coached them this year, because I don't think I ever heard one, they might have said it under their breath to each other, but they never let me hear any negative comments, any complaints. They just did everything I asked them to do, and then some. And that's why they went undefeated, and that's why they're league champs. So I'd like to recognize individually first, and then we'll get into the awards. I don't think these are in any specific order, are they, Coach? Grace Galvin. Kathleen Galvin. David Georgia. Sofia Martinez. Kara Olson. Mariana Sinatalis. Isabella Urbani. Hannah Baraka. In cross country, most of our awards are very, they're very objective. It's just a matter of who beats who in certain things. The first award I'm going to talk about is our Most Improved Award. This individual last year ran a 22:31 at Galoni, this year 21:57. At Twilight, she ran a 21:59, this year 21:31. In leagues, 23:56. Last year, 23:01 this year. Every major race, she improved from last year to this year. This year's Most Improved is Kathleen Galvin. There we go. Thank you. The Coaches Award, like the teams that already talked, is decided by the members. They hop on a Google form and they vote for who they believe is the unsung hero. That is the person who does all the things that every coach would want in an individual, but also oftentimes doesn't get the accolades that they probably deserve. And this year's unsung hero goes to Grace Galvin. The MVP is the person who has won the most meets. This year, just some numbers to throw at you. This year we had 3 different girls win a meet at some point during the year. That's a coach's dream. Another coach's dream is to have our number 1 and number 5 runners be close together. They run in a pack. This year at districts, our number 1 runner and a number 5 runner was only 1 minute away. At states this past Saturday, they were 1 minute and 31 seconds apart. Only 2 teams in the entire state had a closer pack than that we had. So this pack is really difficult to run against, because in certain meets, there was somebody who just didn't feel good or was coming off a flu or whatever, and the other girls just stepped up and picked up the flag and ran with it, type of thing. So it's pretty exciting to talk about our MVP because she's only an 8th grader, Ava Georgia. I always save the Coaches Award to last. The Coaches Award may not be the person who won the most races, it may not be the person who gets the most accolades, but I believe it's the most important award. The Coaches Award goes to the person who, and I always use this, and if you ever heard me talk about it, give these speeches in the past, you probably heard me say this before, but it's the type of person that you would want your son to come home with. On his arm. Somebody who is just class all the way. Everything she does is classy. And not only is she classy, she's humble about it. You never hear her tell you about how smart she is, how fast she is. She just does it unassumingly. This year's Coaches Award goes to Hannah Baraka. Pitches.
Go over there.
Okay, I'm here. I'm here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Everybody else is coming.
Parents aren't as fast as
Thank you, ladies. Can I have the boys cross-country team come forward, please? Boys cross-country, come on up. Welcome, boys. Our boys team this year, again, they always have to, when you're in the Colonial League, like volleyball, like Joe said previously, every year we have to go against a BVT and a Parker, and those are two of the better teams in the entire state. Parker won states last year. BVT is a powerhouse year after year after year. But this year's team went 7-2. What this year's team did, that it's probably the highlight of the year, was for the first time in 7 years they beat Marlboro High, and brought home the Galoni Cup itself, the trophy. So congratulations, guys. It's also a very young team, as you can see. We only had 2 seniors, Drew and Ashby. Is Drew here? No, just Ashby. So two seniors. And as you can, down at the far end, you can see some middle schoolers along the way. And same with the girls program too. It's wonderful that we can have some middle schoolers that can get on the varsity squad and just learn what their capabilities are. It's really a nice thing to have. So I'd like to, yeah, Ryan's here. Ryan Kerrigan. Gabriel Cousins. Hayden Connolly. Owen Manning. Peter Battage. Ashby Reinhold. Gabriel Torres. And Dylan Zickas. I'd be remiss without mentioning my captains. And cross country and track, at least under my tutelage, is that if we have a family and a program that's running effectively, the coaches don't have to do anything. The captains pretty much do everything. And I was fortunate enough to have Sophia Martinez on the girls' side, who's only a junior, so she'll be my captain again next year. And I had Ashby Reinhold as the captain for the boys. And these two were just phenomenal. They're not the drill sergeant type of personalities, but they're the E.F. Hutton type of personalities. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, when our captains speak, people listen. And that's what you want. So our awards. Let's start with most improved. This runner not only improved from last season to this season, but in the league meet, he was our 5th runner. At the districts, just a week later, he was our number 2 runner. The most improved runner this year is Peter Matajic. Unsung hero, voted by the team. Again, always positive, always unassuming, just does everything I ask him to do. Unsung hero is also our captain next year, Dylan Zickas. The MVP goes to the person who's won the most meets. I think he won all of our meets, so that was kind of easy. is Gabriel Casanas. Our unsung hero, our coach's award. This is a runaway vote on this one. I knew he was special back when he was like a freshman, and every year he matured from going from a boy to a young man, and every year he improved from being a jogger to a team leader and our number 2 runner throughout the entire year. He's a great guy. He's the type, if my daughter was bringing a guy home, I'd be happy with this guy walking in the front door too. My coach's award goes to Ashby Reinhold. Pictures. Tight.
Thank you, Coach Vital. Congratulations to our cross-country runners. At this point, I'll call up Coach Bobby Bishop and Coach Brian Bacala of our boys varsity soccer team.
This is a recurring theme. Throughout the season, I always ask how many people we're missing, and as you can see, not all of our players are here, but that's okay. But for those of you who have been with us for the past couple of years, you will have noticed that when Coach Bacala and I took over this program, I believe it was 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, we were in a transition period because we were basically taking on this brand new team. And the team that you see before you, and if you came to watch any of our games this year, you will have seen that we have progressed tremendously since that period of time. We started as a very rough group of people, and if you again came to the games, you will have noticed that we were essentially one of the powerhouses in the Cal grouping. We would play all of the big teams, and all of their coaches would come up to us afterwards and basically tell us, like, we don't want to be playing against you. We basically just are because we're in your division. Granted, some of those teams beat us, but they did not appreciate the fact that we gave them an extremely difficult time throughout all of those games. And that just goes to show you the sort of group that we have, the willingness that they were willing to put in or able to put in to show other teams and themselves basically how well we wanted to play. And because of that, they did really, really well this season. I think we were 11-3-5. I might be wrong. Somebody can correct me if I am wrong, something of that nature, which is, I think, the best record we've had since we have taken over this group of boys. And starting from the very beginning, when we took over, like I said, it was a rough start. So being in this position that we are now, doing relatively well throughout the season, making other teams appreciate the fact that we have a very strong team, made us as coaches just feel really proud about that. And we hope that they felt the same way. We hope the parents felt the same way. We hope Mr. Jones felt the same way. We did not end the season as we wanted to, obviously. We did not win the state championships, which is unfortunate. We ended up crashing out in the round of 16, I believe, against a relatively strong team. And that is okay, because along the way, we're just going to find teams that are at our level and or better than us. But overall, I think we had a relatively good season, and we were very proud of how that turned out. We would like to thank the players themselves, because obviously they had to show up. We want to thank the parents, because we know that some of you traveled a few hours to come to some of the games that were hours away, so we appreciate you for that. And we'd like to thank Mr. Jones as well for just putting in the time and effort to basically make this work, as the other coaches have said. And he also showed up for some of our games that were an hour and a half away just to support the team. So if you can give those groups of people a round of applause. So the awards that we have tonight, we actually, as Ben Giovanni said and Mr. Vital said, we have a number of Cal All-Stars, we had a number of CMAS All-Stars, and then we did in fact have an All-State representative as well. The Cal All-Stars were Calvin Thompson, Nico Silver, Jack Lepresti, and then the Job twins, who are absent, unfortunately. The CMAS All-Stars, we had Calvin Thompson, Nico Silver, and Jack Lepresti, and then our All-State representative was Calvin Thompson. So along with the All-State recognition that he got, if you do not know, Cal was a diamond in the rough, if you want to say it like that. Soccer is not his first sport. Baseball is, and he will very much admit that to the point where he is exponentially better at baseball than I would think he believes at soccer. So we ended up giving him the Most Improved Player award because last year, if you recognize how he played a few years ago, again, he was that diamond in the rough. He was not the best player, but the distance he has traveled to become the player he is today is tremendous. He led our teams in goals, he led our team in assists, and when you asked, again, those other coaches who they were afraid of on our team, it was Calvin, because if you've watched him play, he is the definition of tenacious. He is going to never stop coming at you, and that was represented in the goals and assists that he accumulated this year, which is why we are giving him this Most Improved Player. We did not let the team vote for the unsung hero just because we're greedy. And I think the team will recognize why we did that when we announce who it is. We picked a person who at the beginning of the season recognized that we had I don't want to say a discrepancy in one of our positions, but he recognized that he could fill that position to a very high level. And when he did and proved that he could, I think the rest of the team took it for granted for an extended period of time until realizing that he was, in fact, the person that they wanted in net. And if that doesn't give it away, it is Oliver Subler. I probably don't even have to tell you who our MVP is. I'm sure the team could tell you. He was probably the one person, no offense to Cal, and I think I've talked to Cal about this, who I believed deserved All-State recognition because he is absolutely the most insane defender we've had for the past few years. He has put in so many goal line saving tackles, goal saving, just anything that you can think of in terms of stopping a defender from scoring on Oliver. Jack was basically the man for the job. So Jack, congratulations. The Coaches Award, we kind of got rid of the actual award for it because we wanted to change it a little bit because we couldn't think of realistically one person to give it to, especially when we were looking at sort of the definition of what the Coaches Award was. So instead of giving an award to one of them, we decided to recognize all three of the people that we wanted to give it to, which were our three captains. They have been with us for a very long time. Nico, I think, the longest. I think I started with him in 7th grade, and just over the years, they have grown to be sort of what we would like AMSA captains to represent in terms of communicating with us, with other people, other teams, all that sort of stuff. And they, for us, have sort of embodied what being a captain means, and the three of them together sort of balance each other out in every way, shape, or form. So we would just like to take this moment to honor the three of them. It is Ryan Young, Nico Silver, and Calvin Thompson. The last thing I have to do is basically just run through them and run through the players that are here and give them their certificates. Some of them are not here, so I will make this as quick as possible. Nathan Thornley. Jason Job is not here. Duke Tree. Aria. Jack Lepresti. Ryan Young. Nico Silver. Calvin Thompson. Justin's not here. Anton. Metheru. Bryce. Zach. They're not here. Oliver Souza. And the rest of them don't appear to be here. I don't know if she's here hiding. She may or may not be, and if she is here, she's probably hiding from me. Gianna, who was our manager this year, stepped in and did a fantastic job. She frequently brought cookies and other treats for the boys after their games. So if she is hiding somewhere, and or if she's not, I'm sure we'll find her and tell her at some point. We just wanted to give her a round of applause and thank her very much. If you want photos. If not,
What's going on?
Coaches!
It's the whole team, Jason doesn't win here. They showed up and everything.
Stay anyway.
That's very bad. They showed up and everything. I know my everything.
Thank you, Coach Bishop, Coach Bacala, boys soccer. At this point in time, let's welcome to the podium Mrs. Sarah Bacala, Mr. Stefan Hudzik-Hewitt, and our girls varsity soccer team.
So thank you all again for being here. We could not have gone through the season without the girls showing up every single day, wanting to improve, wanting to be there for the girls say that on the team too, on the field. We couldn't be here without the players wanting to show up every day for each other. And that's one of the biggest things this year that came out of this team is that they became a family on their own and supported each other and built trust. They grew together on and off the field in their skill, in their creativity on the field, in their play, and most importantly for us as coaches, in their professionalism, no matter the outcome of the game. You know I couldn't get through this without saying that. No matter the outcome, that they held their heads up, they played the best they could, and they showed their true character. We ended our regular season 11-6-1. We won our first playoff game as a team, which was one of our major goals. And then, of course, we got to take on the #1 seed. And despite the fact that we lost, I think that the girls played one of the best games that I have ever seen them play. And I was so proud to walk away from that game with them, having been on that field. We had 5 of our players this year as Colonial Athletic League All-Stars. They were Oceana Broom, Nina Francoise St. Cyr, sorry, I'll just read all of them, Maddie Carter, Kira Powers, and Luana Gramora. We had 2 girls who made the Central Mass All-Stars. That was Nina Francois St. Cyr and Oceana Broom. And Nina also made the All-State team. All right, so let's get to it. So we'll do our certificates first. Oceana Broom. Madeline Carter. Nina Francoise St. Cyr. Luana Gramora. Sierra Green. Alexis Libby. Annie Morales. Elena Anderson. Jillian Gwaski. Kira Powers. Maeve Powers. Brooke Ryan. Claire Jackson. Ava Collins. Neha Guathman. Caitlin Massey. Celeste Meredith. Madeline Goulding. Caroline Hart. Angelina De Silva. So our MVP this year was essential on the field when, in the moments that she wasn't on the field, things sort of fell apart or tended to fall apart. She was essential in setting up plays. She was extremely vocal to the point where I heard that she sings constantly on the field. She averaged 78 minutes a game. She had 3 goals and 1 assist. She had 17 shots on target as a center back. She took 63 corners, had 8 clean sheets. Congratulations, Elena Anderson. Our most improved this year, we had a lot of girls who constantly coming to check in with us. How can I do better? What can I improve? It was a fight. They wanted it, which we love to see. This athlete checked in constantly, and in a way of not how can I get more time, but how can I be better? And then she did it, right? She implemented what we asked of her and how we told her she could improve. Her sense of the game improved, the runs she made, meeting the needs of the team and knowing the roles around her and when she needed to switch roles from the very first game to the very last game. Congratulations, Brooke Ryan. Our unsung hero, like other teams, we had the girls vote. We had nominations for 9 different girls. And the majority of the votes included a comment or two about why they voted for that person. And so I was reading them and trying not to cry in front of my coworkers because everything was very thoughtful and wonderful. This athlete was there for all of her teammates on and off the field, to give advice, just to talk to. She never gave up on the field or off the field, but she was humble about her skills. She was always setting up plays, making combinations that led to scoring opportunities, but wasn't always recognized for everything that she contributed. So we would like to thank, and the team would like to thank, Maddie Carter. Our Coach's Award goes to a player who is solid. She is reliable. She is going to be hard to replace. She has a very unique style on the field. She is unstoppable. She is a fast learner. She shuts down everything that comes her way. And she puts her body on the line every single minute of every single game. She is not always recognized by the team, but she is doing everything that it takes to help her team. She is, as we like to say, she runs like a truck. She, as some of the girls had voted for this player as well, she was one of the first to reach out to new players to help them with plays and strategies. And next year is going to be a very different place on the field without her. Sierra Green. Thank you, girls. Come on, everybody. Come on. What do you want me to do? I'll hold you up. I want everybody. No, just a second.
What's that?
Yeah, over there. Go. Hurry up.
Too many.
Only one man potentially stopping us from ending this in record time, and it's our varsity golf coach, Mr. Brendan McDonough. A lot of pressure. Varsity golfers, come on up.
All right. So unfortunately, Coach Joe Cellino could not make it tonight. He wishes you all well, and he prepared a nice speech for you guys. So here it is. Good evening, all. I would like to start off by thanking Pete Jones for giving the team the opportunity to compete this fall. Also want to thank the parents for their support and commitment to the team as well. Also a big thank you for allowing me to step in as these guys' coach for the last few weeks when Cellino couldn't make the time commitment work anymore. Our schedule was erratic and unpredictable at times due to our golf course availability, weather delays, and of course the slow play of Luke and Colin's 63 Glen. They took the slow play crown away from Gavin. Congrats, guys. Boys, please give your parents a round of applause to your parents for being there all season. Amster Golf has been a perennial power over the last 7 years. We have advanced to districts every year over that time period. We've completed 3 state championships as a team, and we've had numerous players compete for individual state titles. This season we had 4 returning players from the state championship qualifying team. That team also had 3 players compete as individuals as well. Needless to say, we lost a lot of experienced players from our team, and we faced it with a difficult out-of-conference schedule this year. This team was up for the challenge as we finished 7-10-1. We lost one match by 2 strokes, 1 match by 3 strokes, and we had a tie, which is rare, only because we had poor handwriting and thought someone's 4 was a 7. Good job, Blake. This team also has this team was a few strokes away from making it back to districts. This team also was led by senior Jack McCabe, who had a scoring average of 38.7 for 9 holes. Jack fired a low round of the season with a 2-under par 33 at Heritage Country Club. Jack competed in districts as an individual and shot a 78. As we waited for all the scores to come in, Jack was inside the cut line with waiting on one last score to come in. Unfortunately, that final score came in and he ended up missing the states by 1 stroke. Jack has been a major contributor to this team, and his play and leadership will be difficult to replace. This team was fun to be around. We got contribution from a lot of players. We had a good mix of under and upperclassmen. The upperclassmen took our 2 8th graders under their wings and gave them the confidence to compete at the varsity level. We had some great bus rides which built the camaraderie amongst the team. I do have to say that this group may have been the messiest group that we've had. Sorry, Pete and the white bus. I believe that most wanted the season to continue as they were enjoying playing. I can say that the homeowners on the 6th and 7th holes at Southborough Golf are very happy the season is over, constantly with line drives going into their front yards. I think that this group has a bright future ahead of them. Our juniors, Andrew McCabe, Casey Matevich, Luke Massey, and Colin Glynn will provide leadership, while our 8th graders, Charlie Hamill and Evan Pelland, will build on a great first season. The future is bright for this group. Jack McCabe and Andrew McCabe were Cal All-Stars this year. Congrats on a great season. Now on to the awards. All right. First name, Gavin Daly. Jack McCabe. Blake Schwartz. Luke Massey. Casey Matevich. Andrew McCabe. Henry Papke. Colin Glenn. Noah Hill. Charles Hamill. All right, now for the awards. So first off, we'll start with our unsung hero. It didn't really matter where this guy's ball was, if it was behind a tree, in a bunker, it didn't matter. He always had a smile on his face, always had some quick jokes to get the guys laughing and keep everyone nice and easy. Noah Hill. Our most improved player. He had an unbelievable season as well, usually scoring in the top 2 for our team. A lot of the kids would sometimes say that he would get in his own head, but that is what it is. But if he gets by that mental aspect, he's going to be an incredible golfer, and I'm excited to see what he can do next season. Andrew McCabe. The Coaches Award. This kid is one of the funniest kids I've ever met. Absolute pleasure to have on the bus, at matches, and anything. Could put him partner up with anyone on the team, even if they didn't like to talk. He was always talking, always yapping away. That award goes to Blake Schwartz. All right, and our last but not least, our most valuable player. I wish him nothing but success next year at Bowdoin, where he's going to be playing golf. He had an unbelievable career at AMSA, and can't wait to see what his future has. Jack McCabe. And also, guys, just once again, I can't believe that the season is already over, but it was unbelievable time coaching you guys. I appreciate you guys allowing me to be your coach for the last 3 weeks. I had a blast, and I'm very looking forward to next season. Thank you.
Where's Mark?
Get tight, come on.
Thank you, Coach McDonough and the golf team. Just so everybody knows, Coach Cellino took a new job at State Street Bank. That's why he left. I don't want anyone to think he was fired or got sick or anything. He's okay, but thanks to Coach McDonough for stepping in. That concludes our team recognition portion. Now we're going to present some academic awards. As you guys are all well aware, in this room, as student athletes and as parents, the academic rigors of AMSA are real, and to balance the homework and the pressures of AMSA academics with athletics, varsity athletics, it's an impressive balancing act. So to all of you who get it done in the classroom, congratulations, and a few of you will be honored right now. What I'll start with is I'll recognize the two teams with the highest average. And the boys team, the boys varsity team with the highest average amongst its varsity players with a 93.15 is the boys varsity cross country team. And the girls team with the highest average with a 93.22 is the girls varsity cross country team. Congratulations, Coach Vital and our cross country teams on the outstanding achievements in the classroom. Now a couple individual academic awards. We have 2 male academic achievement awards and 2 female academic achievement awards, one for upperclassmen and one for underclassmen. So we're going to recognize 4 student athletes here. We're going to begin with the underclassman male winner. He's from the boys varsity soccer team with an average of 99.16, freshman Arya Chef. Come on up, Arya. Congrats, Arya. And from the underclassmen, the female winner is from the girls varsity soccer team with an average of a 96.53, and I believe this is a back-to-back win for her, as she won this last spring as well. Sophomore Caitlin Massey. And for the upperclassmen, the winner is here from the golf team with an average of 97.35, Mr. Blake Schwartz. And last but certainly not least, the female upperclassman academic award winner is a senior from the girls varsity cross country team, another back-to-back award winner, an average of 98.79, Hannah Baraka. A couple pictures of our academic award winners. guys. Thank you, guys. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll just ask for one last round of applause for all of our varsity student athletes.